practice because I'm at 16. I have 16 hours of practice with my guitar to go for the month of October.
Okay.
So I've been doing about 225 hours a week, and it's starting. My hands are starting to get used to it again. I'm really digging it. So basically, to keep myself accountable, I just turn on the camera. So that way, I'm like, all right, I have to document when I did this.
Like your
like,
sessions.
yeah, exactly. It was freaking stupid, but I was like, you know what? I might try doing this for the if anybody's interested. You know,
Right.
which they're not. I don't have any viewers on that stuff. So.
Oh, guitar practice. Like that's a hard sell.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's not entertaining.
Yeah.
It's not. I just do it because I'm like, hey, I'm trying to. I'm. This is one of the ways I keep myself accountable. So, I got a lot better like leveraging my ego against myself or against itself.
Plus, you're competing with all these kids savants.
Oh,
They're just automatically know how to do it when they're 4.
yeah, exactly. And they're just like, look, I easily got 20,000.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I get it. Let's see. Okay, so before I hit record for at least the audio stuff, I tell this to everybody. If there at any point, because the conversation goes all over, if there's something that you don't want to talk about, just like wave at me, I'll steer the conversation in a different direction.
Okay.
So that way I'm not trying to get people to talk shit about everybody else. Yeah. Like when Hamill's on, he just does that naturally. But
Who?
Jake Hamill.
Oh, Jake Hamill. Oh,
yeah.
Good.
Him and
he covered all the bases then.
Yeah, and Chuck Roy's another one. Like if you get asked Chuck Roy ever about comedy works and stuff, just the floodgates open.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's not a big fan, but
of how things work.
Yeah, exactly. No, he's a business guy, and he's just kind of like, wait a second, why do I get paid this money? You know,
Can't get paid enough.
No, exactly. Even when he used to do the film on the rocks and stuff, he was kind of like you got to pay it. Not a super small amount, but at the same time, he was like, "You're charging $21 per ticket."
For Red Rocks.
Yeah, for Red Rocks. I count 900 people out there. Why am I only getting? And it was just one of those things.
What do you got? $300.
Not even that, I don't think. So that was just one of those things. But all right.
So that's how comedy works stays in business, though. That's a nice room.
Yeah, and that's why I only do it once a year. Really.
Comedy works.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just me, but let me get this started.
Oh, I can't get in the door.
Oh, yeah. Hey, what's shaking, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the DisJointed podcast. If you're watching on Twitch, thanks for watching. Twitch.tv/DisJointedDave. And thanks for listening to this podcast, which is on Anchor and pretty much everywhere else. This is the podcast that asks the question, what does it take to go from a 9-to-5 life to one of creativity? And I talk with many different types of artists, mostly stand-up comedians, because that's the type of medium that I'm in. And this week I got a really, really awesome guest. So somebody I've been trying to get on for a long time. And the only reason you haven't been on sooner is because I'm a lazy fuck, and I keep forgetting to ask people to come on the show. So, but we finally got it. Mike Copolinno, welcome to the show, sir.
Hey, thank you, David.
Thank you. So, first question, a standard question that we always ask is, how'd you get into, what brought you into stand-up?
I think Facebook brought me into stand-up comedy.
How so?
I was on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hating life.
Right.
You know, because I'm on Facebook.
You're on Facebook.
And then a friend of mine,
mm-hmm.
he's a pretty smart guy, and he started getting into stand-up comedy. He was doing it for 4 months.
Oh, wow.
And then he sent out a message saying he was going to be doing an open mic at the American Comedy Club, which is like the big deal in like San Diego or something.
Gotcha.
So I went over there. I checked it out,
mm-hmm.
and he was pretty good.
Right.
Yeah, he's good. Wasn't great.
Mm-hmm.
He's only been doing it 4 months, but everyone else was terrible.
Right.
Everyone else was like, "Oh my god! Like, I should be on Johnny Carson in like 2 days."
Right.
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
And but I didn't. I thought that, but I said, I'll watch this for like 2 or 3 months to make sure this isn't a fluke.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at an open mic.
Yeah.
I don't know what an open mic is. And then I watched it for like 4 months, and I just got more and more pissed off. And finally, I went up there.
You went out of spite, basically.
I just went out of spite and embarrassment. I just that's what I did. And then I bombed.
Uh-huh.
The first time I went up, of course, I bombed.
Right.
I had told one good herpes joke.
Right.
Like one good herpes joke and one good Sting joke.
Mm.
Like, do you think Sting is tired of being pretentious?
Yeah.
That's what I asked people because of his name.
Mm-hmm.
That was a joke.
Yeah.
But I still bombed. nobody knew who Sting was anymore. I didn't even know.
This joke is about 8 years too late.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Well, that's that's weird. I remember my first open mic was at Stand Up Scottsdale, and which was it's at a comedy club, but it wasn't. It was nowhere near the caliber of, let's say, Comedy Works out here, right?
Yeah.
So there was like 60 this is before the Phoenix scene was the Phoenix scene.
Okay.
This is when there was only maybe three or four mics, or there was only one open mic 4 days out of the week. So, which at the time, that was way more than Phoenix had ever had. But it's not like we've kind of we're spoiled in Denver, where like, you want to do an open mic? Doesn't matter what day it is.
Denver's actually wonderful.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of which, like you hosted, I'm hosting the Nerd Mic on Sunday. Tomorrow, the 13th, guys. If you go every Sunday, and I don't even know the address of this place.
Saloon, it's 9890 Curtin Street.
Something like that. Just basically, it's the 47 or Hampton Avenue and Kipling. So if you're in that, just get off on that road. You'll just look around and listen for the laughter. You'll find us.
No way.
No,
no way that happens.
Everybody crushes at this mic.
Actually, everybody does crush at this mic. It's oddly magical.
Dude, I love that mic because like having that 10 minutes. Because normally the reason why if you go there, you're not guaranteed 10 minutes, guys. It's if you have like 7 comics or less, everybody usually gets about like 10 minutes and stuff.
And sometimes encores.
Yeah. Sometimes there's that too, which I never stood. I'm going to stay around for it tomorrow night because I don't have to work on Monday.
If you host, you decide whether it's encores or not. That's like a thing.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. So
yeah,
like,
if the show's going well,
uh-huh.
and we only had like 4 people in the audience, so we made them laugh.
Right.
So that was like a good show. So we decided to do encores.
Gotcha.
They waited around.
See, that part's pretty cool. I think normally, like I think like last week, and Pete's like, "Yeah, we're going to do encores after this." Looking around, I'm like, "There's just the bartender, man. The people who work here." And it's great to make them laugh. It's awesome, but I was like, I gotta go. But
people walked in.
That was really?
Thing. People did walk into that show.
Nice.
So we ended up, we had like 6 people.
Huh.
So it was fun.
Right.
It's a good enough test.
It's definitely a great place to work out new shit. And so I don't know. There's the mics that I really enjoy going to. Obviously, X Saloon, not just because I'm hosting it. Or at least I am tomorrow night, guys, on the 13th October, which I might release this later today, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Good.
Hoodie's Half Note is one of my other favorite mics to go on Monday. Just because, it's usually like 3 to 5 minutes because that one's a pretty busy mic.
Yeah.
But Nate Brown, who runs that, has been really, really awesome. He's been like, "Hey, man, I'm coming up." And he'll be like, he might not put you on right when you get there, but it'll be within an hour.
Yeah.
Which is
it a big mic?
Yeah. There's usually, I would say, about 20 to 30 comics that go there in Fort Collins. And Fort Collins has a different scene about it.
I like that.
Yeah, they're super awesome. D-Rod and Pogue and Fort Collins did a really great job. And everybody else who runs mics, and even isn't involved with that, they're just, I think what makes Fort Collins comedy scene so awesome and supportive, because they're just doing whatever they can to make sure they're not like Denver.
Yeah, that can be that. I've only seen one place, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a fun mic.
The Colorado room is really good. And on top of that, it's about an hour's drive north,
Yeah.
And it makes it feel like, hey, I'm going out of town to do this mic, and it's kind of cool.
You do feel like you're touring.
A little bit. Just a little bit. So that was pretty good. I also like Mike and Tommy Holland's mic, or Mike Langworthy and Tom Holland.
Mega mic.
Yeah, the Mega mic. That one's really awesome. And I used to really dig Violets. That's where we actually kind of met. Yeah, that room was awesome.
Yeah, it was such an awesome room.
It's just
had a fireplace in it. Had like sofas.
Yeah.
If we
it was dark. It's kind of underground.
We could have sold that place out.
Yeah.
If we had kept going, that place would have been packed.
Yeah, but I don't know what was going on for the rest of the week, though. That's the thing.
There was nothing going on for the rest of the week. That's why it died.
Right. And that's what I'm kind of worried a little bit about other venues where I'm like, you can see that they're really trying to bank on entertainment. And I'm like, holy shit, guys, we need to get really good at drawing. Like, we need to freaking learn how to do this shit.
Right.
Bands too, not just comics, but I see videos of particular bands like on Friday night. I'm like, it's kind of interesting that you're not showing anybody in the audience.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I've made little videos for other bands before. That's a sneaky little trick that I try to get behind just 2 or 3 people bunched together to make it look like there's way more people in that place than there really is.
Yeah.
And like,
I don't like that.
yeah. Well, I mean, I was doing it because I was making a video for somebody, but.
Well, now I'm trying to do like film for myself.
Oh, really?
But my films are going to be in total isolation. Stand-up comedy in total isolation.
Whoa.
Yeah. It's like you choose whether to laugh or not. Because you're just the only person listening to it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
What drew you to do that?
I don't know. Maybe I suck at comedy.
You don't suck at comedy.
No, I don't know. It's the way I can practice. I always, I could never get shows where I could do like an hour.
Right.
And I wasn't even ready for it.
Uh-huh.
You know, I may still not be ready for it, doing a whole hour.
Right.
Because even though I have the jokes, I don't have the energy to say it for like a full hour.
Right.
You know, and have it keep the whole audience going for a full hour. That's like, you have to have that kind of energy.
Yeah, there has to be kind of like that peaks and valleys, ebbs and flows and stuff. Like,
But,
I saw that working at stand-up Scottsdale. There was like Orny Adams, who was, he's the one who, he basically, everybody, if the only thing you ever saw was that Jerry Seinfeld comedian movie, or that he did, he was the young comic back then, and he basically comes off looking like a total egotistical asshole, like any of us would have been if somebody put a camera or a movie camera in our face when we were in our early 20s, right? So I'm looking at, and then he was headlining the stand-up Scottsdale. I'm like, this is really interesting because you don't really see that much of his material in the movie, right? And that dude is like a Gatling gun of jokes when he comes out, and he just comes out and he starts off like with a massive nuclear bomb and then just keeps going bam, 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 and you're like, holy shit. But then you can see how he does that for up top to get everybody in the right mood and stuff, and then after that it's like, all right, then he starts moving into other things. Yeah, a little bit. And that was always really interesting to watch everybody's different styles. I've seen Cash Levy perform for 12 people on a Thursday, and then do that exact same show, that exact same hour with the same love and intensity for a packed house of 200.
Right.
You know, and I'm like, wow. So, I mean, it was kind of cool working at a comedy club and watching these different things, but I never thought about wanting to do that here because I don't know. And this isn't a knock on anybody who works at the local comedy club here, but I don't know any comics that came out of that really, really kind of.
Well, I'm doing like street comedy.
Right.
Which is like not, I'm still doing it in public.
Right.
I'm trying to get an audience, but you know, I don't look like I could possibly get an audience. So then you actually have to know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
In order to actually know that I'm doing comedy. So I'm practicing for like an album set, a real show. These jokes are like 7 minutes long, or 5 minutes long, and somebody's walking past.
Yeah.
They're gonna get 15 seconds of this thing. It's gonna be perverted for them. They're gonna know what part of this is funny.
Yeah.
It's like, you've been listening to like 3 minutes of a joke. Oh, this part is really funny.
Yeah.
You know? But now that's my struggle right now. Because now I'm just practicing. What I should be doing is paying attention to the audience as they go past.
Yeah.
So how do I stop my joke, tell a few jokes to get these people going, and bring them back to this joke? I'll just tell a different joke. Or hand them a business card and say, you know, I'm going to be doing this right here.
Yeah.
This bar is across the street. You can listen to the jokes from this bar.
Yeah, well, I've seen you come in, like you've got your zines that you do, and I've seen you always got your PA system and your mic on you usually. Is there ever like I was going to say like an easel or a sign that actually says like, hey, this is a street performance or something, or do you just kind of?
I'm actually too lazy.
Oh, fair enough.
I don't want to, I hate signs. I hate painting signs. I actually thought making one of my books an actual sign, and I could just post it like a little A-frame right there. But that'd be too pitiful. Nobody can see that.
Yeah.
What I used to do, I used to put out fake candles.
Right.
Like around where I was performing. And if there was tables out, I put them on tables. Like there was like places in San Diego where they had abandoned like public like works. So they still have the furniture out and everything. But homeless people slept there and all the furniture. So you could do a show there. Like me, I could do a show there. And I could put candles out on some of the available tables. So people would sit there and like stop in and like see 5 minutes of jokes or 10 minutes of jokes.
It's not too bad.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Like they built a whole amphitheater in San Diego.
See, it was always kind of a weird thing, like in New York, you didn't know if it was a street performance or if it was like a political statement or a religious thing, and so you never quite knew it. Sometimes you didn't want to stop, and gosh, I saw somewhere, and I think it was like Twitter or something, I don't know, they're like, hey, it's okay to make eye contact with homeless people. And I'm like,
yes,
I get that. That's the exact opposite of what they always like. I think New York is a lot different now. But when I was there in the early '90s, like there was a police officer that came to the school that I went to, and they gave us the rundown of like, all right, these are some of the scams that you're going to get hit with. This is all the stuff, the things you got to be careful. And there's a reason why nobody makes eye contact here in New York City. Is because all the folks who are hustling you, the first thing they need is that eye contact.
That sucks.
So
you can't be strong-willed at all. You just got to be like go with the flow, like the cops.
Right. So we'll at least just try to.
Yeah.
You get to once you start getting to know people in your neighborhood and the different business owners, stuff like that. You hang out at the local bar. That's where other folks hang out. Like that's how you get to know other like firemen, policemen, all this other stuff. Depending on what bar you hang out at, then you kind of like you kind of let your guard down a little bit, but. If you're like in Times Square where there is an insane amount of pickpockets, there's an insane amount of just people trying to basically look for that tourist, for that one naive person.
Right.
That's, you kind of have to have a little bit more of a thing. So I'm like,
My thing is I can always talk myself out of a thing politely within 5 minutes. So any situation I'm in, I could just talk to a person. They're not going to cling to me.
Yeah.
They like the conversation enough. They're not going to keep insulting me.
Yeah.
And let me go
Mm.
without any dust up or anything.
Wow.
But I set a 5-minute limit.
Yeah.
I always set a 5-minute limit in any conversation, public conversation. That's it. Like, unless I'm interested,
Right.
genuinely interested, then yeah.
That's interesting. Where'd you come up with that rule? 5 minutes.
You have to devote time to your thoughts too.
Right.
So sometimes if you're in a conversation, you're directed to be polite. You have to be polite.
Mm-hmm.
And because this is a new person you're listening to, like you listen to yourself your entire life.
Right.
So I listen a lot more. But I don't know. It's like also because I hang out with crazy people.
Right.
So that's part of my gig.
Mm-hmm.
I think crazy people are interesting.
Oh yeah, no, they totally are.
But eventually, they'll get so crazy, even if they're sane.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be some point in the conversation where the conversation shifts to crazy.
Yeah.
And then it's a 5-minute limit. It's a 5-minute limit.
Yeah, when
and then they can either go back to being like whatever, or it's over.
I remember there were just as a teenager. I remember this one guy. I was at the public library in Lucerne Valley, and it was kind of like an interesting conversation. But then you have that moment where he starts talking about the war in heaven between like the Puerto Rican angels versus the white angels, and how they don't. And I'm like, okay,
that's nice. That's interesting to me.
It was interesting, but the weird thing is that like obviously I did not believe anything this guy was saying. But the thing I was like monitoring his thought patterns and how he saw the world. That's what I thought interesting. Like how is it that you? Because I think everybody kind of moves the goal of reality a little bit, kind of make it a little bit more feasible.
How small where are we going? Is it
Pleasure
Island?
Did they just go down and stay in that? Did they bother just like keep the same shit going?
Puerto Rican angels. So isolated.
Right.
They're like Jewish men. I love I find it in Puerto Rican. And oh my God, he's like the villain from Godfather 2. Like that guy.
Yeah.
He's just
like
Hyman Roth.
Yeah.
But he's funny. He's funny. Fire.
Oh,
So you actually get like rescue like 30 dead people.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how he talks. Bringing people out of rescue. Nobody ever survives. And that's what he was telling. And he's a friend.
Wow.
But he was a firefighter for 35 years.
Wow. You grew up in San Diego, or?
I went to college in San Diego, and college. And then I just stayed. Weather was
beautiful. It's beautiful out there.
I know.
It's one of those things. It's kind of like an encouragement where it's like I've never been like I grew up out in California, high desert. So like when you go down the hill, we would call it spontaneous and stuff. And we're like, there's elevators and everything. And Long Beach, and all that other stuff. But like I remember just coming to San Diego. This place is extra peaceful. Like there's just something that's so awesome about this whole place. I think if you live there for too long, you're like either. There's a good chance you never want to leave. So what got you out of it?
I don't know. I always live close to Potter.
Okay.
I don't like working.
Fair enough.
I like my time.
Right.
So San Diego for a long time I was doing skate just by hanging out with punk rockers and hearing all the disease and disease and social and otherwise. Not guy. I got but hang out like squats. And then I hang out squats for like God. 20 years.
Wow.
Like I did that. Then I had for a while I played my own place, which is three rooms.
Wow.
In a building. I was renting. Because these World War II had still had this deal. They still had World War II prices.
Yeah.
So these rooms, I had like 3 rooms. And it was a view of a bridge.
Oh wow.
Crazy. I had to deal with it now. I can't do drugs. But the place was built for
right.
You know?
This is my fault.
We all had to be sober. So we couldn't just party and go upstairs. Instead be the pinhead or something. The guy would know who was a tweaker. I wouldn't know what it was. He knew from history. This guy was a very nice guy. My
brother has a big problem with crystal meth for a long time. So it's kind of like when everybody. That was one of the things that kept me away from drugs and smoking pot for a long time was because I saw the worst of it right up front. So the whole thing's about the mind expanding out, having to listen to record. None of that shit. I didn't see any of that. All I saw was watching somebody just twist and turn and burn every bridge and stuff. And it's weird. It's like even with the things like all my dad's first marriage, my brothers and sisters from that. They can't just go. I'm gonna have to go for a weekend. They're like, hey, I'm gonna do. You know, it would be great. More code. And after that, you know what? We try selling. And by the way, we're gonna sell this. Why are we giving them all the good stuff? Why don't you try shut this bacon? I'm gonna do this. You know what? What if I rob that? And so they just keep going. Yeah, exactly.
How many people realize how to keep?
Yeah.
They don't have to rob anybody.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep something more there. Like. Have you seen what you can get at the gym? Come on. I have. Yeah. But the whole thing is because I saw my brother, like goes for all like that, I've never. Well, you don't never see me smoking one at all.
Well, this guy was doing tweet was like normal. Right. You never see a normal person who does math. He was such a pleasant person. It was weird.
Right.
So it was okay. I didn't care. But he didn't like decorate with all his friends. He just died of a wind.
Wow.
That's what math does. Like you just die of hated shit.
The weirdest one I saw, brother, was crash for this dude's house. This dude's house was paraplegic. And all this guy wanted to do was smoke rocks.
Yeah.
That's all he did. That's what I can't move. Yeah. He was basically just watching TV and tweaking all freaking day. I don't know if anybody described my tweakers on. But
tweaker.
Yeah.
It's just like it doesn't even move. It's paraplegic on math.
There was a. You see the documentary?
No.
Apparently there's like 4 or 5 things, right? Because he just kept getting all these people documentary. This one was about this guy who it ends up being about the documentary. And actually works pretty well. But I was watching Amazing Jonathan. I was a teenager. And called me Heroes because I love that being on stage. Then after watching that was pure coke.
Oh yeah.
That's all I love. Wow. And it's kind of bizarre that I wish I could have talked to the guys doing the documentary and be like, yeah, I can't believe would have lied to me. It's amazing.
Well, that's what I see like old wrestling. But then you can see like Copolinno.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God. Flair.
Right.
Jesus Christ.
Just like that.
Did he even pretend to be?
I think it was
wrestlers.
I think it was a party animal. Like how many times have I already been married? It's like in the teens now.
No, he's dead now.
Ric Flair?
Nick Flair.
Ric
Flair's dead. He died.
When was this?
Out of the year. I'm sorry. Already, I'm sorry. I'm telling you.
I gotta look this up. I just saw it. But no, I know. Walt Russ all the time. That was. I love listening to those podcasts because professional wrestling comedy kind of have they run on parallel. You know, trying to go town and work and stuff. And they're just nuts.
And it's a crazy.
Yeah.
That
you improv and make up as like the whole idea of like calling shit in the ring between back in the 90s, I was a big fan of WCW. And so it's funny to look at some of those old matches and kind of see the different type of match that you'd see today. Wow. Not that it's necessarily better, it's just different style of sports. Right. Kind of like with comedy, there's different styles.
More than grander stage.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at, smaller stages. So you're gonna see different type of wrestling. Because that's brand. It's almost like meta wrestling.
Have you been to? I have yet to go to Big Crosby Brand Labs.
I have.
Yeah, me neither. It's only going on for years now. One of these days, I went to a wrestling show that Goss was involved, but it wasn't a show. That's bizarre seeing it live.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got wrestling the people involved. Nobody's got mad. At the end of the wrestling thing, I'm part of all the team now. I didn't even know. I'm gonna be a villain. I was gonna be a villain. It's like I was gonna have this guy mortgage my wrestler, make him like wrestle mortgage, turn into my animal. And then he attacked the bank.
Fair enough.
And that was like, wrestling.
That's basically what
it's like things like walk up into more bank. Television.
I always thought my favorite. I would think if I were to have my favorite. If I was going to be a heel manager, I wouldn't be for a female wrestler, and I would come out this is what male feminism looks like, and I would be the most super woke, really annoying to the point, being emasculated, that I would trip the other girl or something like that. That would be such an insane, right? Where you could tell them
that would be like. It's actually good. It's so
it's super. But it's kind of like, that's the point. Wrestling's really. And just seeing this whole thing where you know this guy's full of shit because everything that comes out of whether you agree with it or not, he doesn't believe it. Yeah. That would be a guy. One of these days. But
I do like wrestling. I like.
Yeah. I gotta go.
It's the stable. I can't deal with the stables. I've known 10 and 1. Because we are a lot of 10 and 1 shows. The freak show. Like the face in the space.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Jim Rose.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
I hate stick like these skewers to his neck.
Right.
Horrible.
Right.
Like all the shit,
Right.
all the shit finding like fucking Japanese horror.
Wow.
Like he be doing that.
Jesus.
They do that. Real thing. That's why they're so disgusting.
Ugh.
You ever seen one?
No. I heard about
Japanese horror movie?
No, I'm not into horror films. It's weird. Horror films. I don't like violent films. I do.
Oh.
You know.
One of them, Ichi the Killer.
Ooh, no, I've heard.
Oh God, that's a great director.
Really?
Ichi the Killer. That's fucking.
Yeah.
So disgusting.
I know what Japanese word is basically, because it's like a ring where you walk by a haunted house and now you're gonna die. There's nothing you can do about it. That's basically.
I like that. I like that type. I always felt like a real haunted house. You just walk by it.
Yeah.
It's good.
What else?
Party is
Shouldn't be walking down the street. The only time that I think I've been in a place that felt seriously haunted is when I was living in Phoenix and I started taking a trip up to Hurry Valley. I lived in college as a kid, and this whole place that was me out as a kid was this old hospital hotel in Jerome. And it was still there. It's still turned into like a four-star hotel now. It's got this really awesome restaurant in it. But it also used to be a hospital, I think, at one point. Back in the days, so it's weird. Like it's like there. It's like it feels really weird.
You know what I would get? I would most haunted man. Trailer.
Yeah.
Trailer is the most haunted places because
I would have to
do work in these places. You can tell people are newly dead.
Wow.
Because all their equipment was still in one room. But you were in there parachute next tenant. But all the they were gone.
Right.
But all this detriment of their horrible existence is still there.
Yeah.
That felt haunted. That felt like I was just waiting to show up.
Well.
This is the wrong set of legs.
Yeah.
Like that.
Just right.
Yeah. No, the whole one. I mean, everything is totally like she just bend the neck and look at me my work and die of a heart attack. That would be it.
Just like
a trailer would take. That's what it would be.
I remember a little trip. Well, it wasn't like a trailer park, but it was a trailer park. Yeah, we moved from a house to a single wide Cottonwood, Arizona. This thing was up on a hill. The first time you would feel this thing kind of way back and forth, and then we upgraded to a double wide. Now we're living in a little house. Yeah.
Double wide.
You got a lot of room in those things, right? Well, I think they're probably better than my dad the electric all the time because it just didn't heat and it wasn't insulated really well. So there was that. But yeah. And then I had some friends who were just trailers. I had this one friend. I think. It's gross great to see him now because we kind of Facebook on Facebook. He's got his wife, his daughter. He's doing really well. Nice house built plus family. But I remember when they were living in a trailer and the base shacks. It was just basically put together. And I was pretty much. Like it was just like an animal in Oklahoma. But why do you move? And I'm like, dude, storm hit pretty much knocked over my whole house, bro. And I was like, holy shit. Yeah, but they kind of that was a story where they kind of turned themselves around. And the moral of that was just over that. So it had something to do with it. But
it's like you want to live in it. I mean, you don't want to pay a lot of rent.
The concern was more like just despair though. There wasn't an event unless you really wanted to.
So they inherit that, or they actually.
I don't know how that works.
Sometimes you inherit like somebody you like.
Oh really? Huh.
But then you have to live in that location. And Joshua treats you special.
Yeah. I wish that place was his cottage.
Yeah.
They're like, man, yeah, street lights there, yeah.
Where's in California?
Yeah. So if he went, it was Victorville, Apple Valley, and then Lucerne is like one more step before you head up to Big Bear. Yeah. So that's where I grew up out there. As soon as I left, 2 weeks after I graduated, I moved to New York City. So that was gigantic shift. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm here now. But so even when we got way off, we were talking, we started when I said, we got into saying about a spike.
Yeah.
And so this is, but you found something, you're like, this is like an area to focus on or something. You would seem like a very creative person.
I always.
Right.
I cope with
Right.
I'm more of an engineer person. I see something go on, do something with this.
Right.
Like science fiction, somewhat.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I don't know. I've always been writing. I was always a writer. I always put out little books back in 1990, 1996, which was a short story. And I'd sell it on the streets.
Gotcha.
Did that for a while. Got kind of well known in San Diego for that. Started putting out magazines. Because that's copying that was a big zine at the time. There were artists. And it made a magazine called Soft Spot. And it was a rock magazine. There's nothing serious about it. Yeah. There's reviews, bars, and stuff, and laundry, laundromats. And 99 Chinese food, like bucket Chinese food, or review on the amounts of unedible food. So we found a plate, put it on napkin, or review napkin.
Oh wow.
Our manuals, all these reviews, stuff, yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. But I did that, and then I grew up. I had to get a job. Like whatever.
Yeah. That whole job thing sucks. I'm trying to. I know. I think the biggest battle here is going to be not letting a job that I get better at. Start to make money with. Try to not let that take over everything that I'm doing because I kind of already made that mistake when I started in restaurants. I'm like, I'm still going to try to be creative, try to do other stuff because it wasn't so much the 50 hours a week. What it was is that because the way I always felt, the manager of this place not only responsible for my rent, my utilities. If I fuck up my job, my stay, their rent, or their utilities. So that's kind of the level of stuff that put on me. But that took over everything. I was constantly thinking about it. I wasn't doing it. I mean, if I wasn't at work, I was just basically trying to isolate. There's reviews, do stuff, watch movies.
I'll tell you one secret, whatever. Is I was so broke in the 90s that I actually became a door-to-door salesman.
Ooh, I did that for a month.
I did it for 6 years.
Oh wow.
6 years of selling landscape.
Oh wow.
And all over San Diego. People in my face, San Diego, door to door.
Right.
And I wasn't hate.
Right.
I see people see I'll get this done. So I was making decent amount. I was doing that. Also, I was hustling pool.
Oh wow.
And selling those books. Selling those books like lines at haunted houses. Whatever haunted. Like this time of year, I'd go around and sell books. These long lines. I should be making money.
Right.
I already have a job. But that's what I did in San Diego.
Oh wow.
So I just
You guys got really creative. What can I do? I hit the go out of there, all the way down.
Well, I tried writing plays first.
Wow.
That it's screenplays.
Yeah.
I wrote an Xbox.
All right.
I knew somebody at Fox, and they were going to be my connection, but then they had never break us from touch.
Oh, that was nice.
It's already done.
You couldn't have held on one more week.
I could be totally different. Like this whole life could have been totally different.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's one of the things. I'm kind of interested in talking to Mike Langworthy. That's a guy that actually lived. He made it. And now right now, what is he doing? It seems like now he's doing personal stuff. Personal stuff to do is I don't know. I'm interested in the conversation.
I think he made it like smart about.
Yeah.
So he's all right.
Oh yeah.
But now it's just boring.
Yeah.
Now he has to go all over.
That's what I love about it. It's great. So that's the things that I always try to get across with this podcast, because I started this to keep kind of like what I do with the fishbowl thing. Is that I felt like if I'm gonna do stand-up comedy, I keep myself accountable. And so this was the leverage ego against itself. Where I'm like, if you I enjoy doing it. I really love doing it. But it's like if you give up on comedy, you can't do this anymore. And so I was like, if we can keep doing comedy, then podcast because my thing was if my parents were very blue collar. You have a job, 40 hours a week, wherever you go. That's pretty much your life. As far as cancer started business, they didn't know how to do that. I'm going to make specific investments so I can get this. They didn't know how to do that. They came from pretty simple background stuff. So when I saw folks, like, well, I graduated from Juilliard. Really tough there before I got a contract. But I've been working really because the rest of us have to go to work every day. How do you do that and then move to this?
So it's the right time.
Yeah.
You can actually get to the positive proper moment and sustain it for 30 seconds. All you need to do. It's fucking awesome. That's a hard presence of mind.
You always struck me as somebody who's very observant of his surroundings all the time. Find out that one moment and stuff, and being really smart about. That's what I was. That's what I needed to talk to because I was like, this is super interesting. Because I enjoy listening to different people how they talk about it. Just living in general,
Watch video.
Yeah.
It's like actually filming. I look at film like as if I'm looking at a camera. Where's this camera going? And I start thinking as a director. That's when you start. How do these guys lay all this stuff out? Like everything's all set up.
What was the thing? I'm actually getting back film now because I think my superhero films or comic book films is kind of run its course. So I'm like, I've already seen everything that I want to see.
Marvel Universe just
Yeah.
I haven't even seen like the last three.
I didn't see Captain Marvel. I have no desire to do that. I'm not sure they're way comics. I don't really care about it.
I'd like to see the end of the whole thing.
Oh no,
I have not seen it yet.
That one. Those were really done really well. I would say as far as the first one, I would put that on par with the first Avengers film. I really dug the first Avengers.
Yeah.
Second one felt like after that. Civil War was a good, they were all really good films. But now it's kind of like I see that kind of artists changing a little bit. I'm like, I'm free to do. I would stop any. But it's from the early expression. But I think I'm getting on.
It's like the plan. Like that Marvel, like a huge plan.
Yeah.
That's what it paid off at the end.
Oh yeah, totally. And I think
I haven't seen the end.
No, it's good stuff.
I'll be happy. I'm gonna be happy when it comes out.
Yeah.
Watch it.
But now I was like, I have since I watched. I remember I was listening to a podcast with Kevin Smith, Chris Harris, basically watching Pulp Fiction, right? So I'm like, I haven't watched Pulp Fiction in a long time. But as I've never seen it for the first time in theaters, and thinking it was the most amazing. I think it's still a good film, but it's kind of like you're watching these scenes versus like Quentin Tarantino storytelling. Excuse me, from Pulp Fiction to The Hateful Eight.
Yeah.
Kill Bill, wildly. It's way more sharp. It's incredibly good. I haven't seen this latest one yet, but it reinvigorated love of cinema. I forgot to watch a movie that somebody with power suit or something.
I watched this Chainsaw Massacre.
How was that?
Oh my God. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Oh, it's so disgusting. It's the most disgusting film I've feel creeped. But it's not just because of the sets are amazing.
Yeah.
Like it's do these film the whole thing catacombs and just long shots and stuff. Everything is fucking great. And Dennis Hopper's and it's just horrible. It's like so horrible, so well done. Like you're constantly sickened by all the angles and how they pan. It's like kind of disgusting. And also there's like a lot of Leatherface girl, hot chick. And he has like his tongue hangs out like Joe. It's great. I love that.
There's I think
that's a really good film.
Well, you know, I remember watching 1,000 Firsts when I was young. Actually, the first one I watched it, and I didn't like it. I was just kind of like, this is making no sense to me. All right. Yeah. I'm actually rooting for all these kids to die. I get that, because they're so annoying. Then it's like, I felt like they just kept killing over and over again. I don't know. It was really weird. And I was like, all right, not digging it. But then Devil's Rejects came out. Right, years later, I'm like, give it a shot and watch it. Completely different type of film. Amazing film. And where we felt for a moment sorry for these evil people have no reason whatsoever. You know, but when they're being tortured, it's like, oh shit. Their family. Wow. So I don't know. I haven't. I'll probably eventually watch from for 3
months. Well, this one, if you share Chainsaw Massacre, it's like whenever Rob films off of based on this, and this thing is based on like the Hills Have Eyes. Or he has like a huge budget.
Who's the dude from Copolinno? I forgot his name.
What's Craven?
No, I mean the actor with all that.
Michael, whatever his name.
Because he was at the bar there in the airport. Chance to talk to him for a while. He lived in the Stern Valley. Yeah, super smart. Really awesome dude. We talked for a while. Like I watched a bunch of stuff. I'm like, yeah, no problem. And it was really cool. He's like, how did you know I live? Because I used to work in the market too. And he's like, you do golf? Yeah. He's like, oh, okay, great shit. Who'd have thought that? Middle of CERN had some benefits to it, but.
That guy.
Yeah, no, he was super cool dude.
But that's Chainsaw Massacre, right? Because Golan Globus, the people who made Superman, decided to throw a bunch of money.
Wow.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 is like $20 million film. It was like nutty in 1992 when he came out. Capitalizing. Maybe it made his money.
Yeah.
Have you seen Superman 3?
No. Wait, that was the one with yeah, I remember seeing that.
That's like total Golan Globus collapse. Wherever they invested were like share market schemes. Like huge amounts of money.
You know the thing that freaked me out about that? I was enjoying that movie until one scene where the girl is trying to get I guess to her computer, grab her, and then just wrap her up, her eyes changes at the top. That freaked me out so freaking bad.
That's where the whole budget.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Oh my. But yeah, you can tell. They were like, super bad, but we're gonna try. This is what we thought about this film. Laugh, but
God, yeah. And that was a true.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
a nightmare. Actually, that was a nightmare to beat.
Really, really.
See the acting, young enough, delicious.
Wait a second.
I was like happy. Original Superman. I still believed in the original.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
Superman too.
Yeah,
Still had some belief.
Well, it was weird. It was weird. The whole story. Most of they were going to try to fill both at the same time, and it was like that's why there's these weird inconsistencies with two is because some of that half of that was by Richard Donner. And then the other half was his other David Ryan. They ended up firing Richard because there was just
You know what? I like the other dudes.
Oh, really?
Like all the stuff in the diet. That was the other dude.
I don't know. I remember I was watching YouTube videos about it recently. They were talking about trying to get a scene in a Richard Donner cut of Superman 2 because there was different things he wanted to focus on. There were
Maybe he filmed this stuff. I missed the other guy.
The other guy, I don't think he was trying to get that character. He was
trying to turn the movie.
Pretty much, you know. But I don't know. Superman was always a weird character to write because there's nothing that you can't do. It's really difficult. So I know everybody shot on Superman returns. Brandon Ralph Superman, which I thought he was a great Superman. You know. But they're like, I was bored. It was Superman versus Big Rock. Yeah. Kevin Spacey was great. Lex Luthor
What was the Christians? That was the Christian.
Yeah.
Christian over.
Yeah, which that was always running gag and super like who was in the fight Jesus. But I don't know. I like him in the newer ones. Henry Cavill. I was real. I don't know. Because they were trying to take a look at the touched on it off like Superman. He returns, he comes back, and like Superman goes up in the sphere, his eyes, listening to everybody asking for help, everything, and just trying to go, that was the element of Superman where he's everything, his shoulders and stuff. They try to keep that feel, but they try to make it personal, that was. That's I always thought Zack Snyder was like, I would have jumped back. I had to read his YouTube comments. That's basically Seriously, he would have to. You know, why should I give a shit about
what's going on? TV or AD or anything. They'd be like, you don't do YouTube. Which one's like worse?
Yeah, we got to take this. This one is definitely really not gonna like it.
Yelp like just all this still be complaining.
He feared my leprosy, but I still have it up to 2 stars.
Right. I can't follow his teachings.
I was always thinking human beings just can't have anything. The more I kept in life like history stuff. Oh, we've done this shit over and over again. You know. So I'm starting to believe in asteroid impact that civilization a couple times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, nothing really. You can't really look at geological stuff, but for the most part.
Atlantis, what happened last? The next.
Yeah, exactly. And someday it's gonna be like technology based or some shit. They're gonna find an old Mac with the fact that it's like electricity. What's that? I don't understand what's going on. This must have been something that primitive people use, and I don't know. That's
and we get all our power from
right.
We'd have conservation stuff. Have brains like somehow I do that because there's a few. Confuse Sarah also.
You know the thing is people that survive, the people who make it after a collapse, it's going to be all the friggin' survivalists, right? That one is going to be the ones that are right. There's going to be I think one shot because they're all most of them are prepared constantly, and they have you know, like freezers at least for a year or two to live off of.
And then the cannibals.
Those guys are the best. There's going to be so many people. And the other one, the third one is going to be the breast care geeks.
Oh, that's true.
The STA are going to be like, we already know how to fight swords with swords and shit. You know, you only have so many bullets. It's not you're going to run out. I know how to make arrows. You know, people you don't. Yeah, exactly.
I could be like the doctor.
It starts all over again. Like, you know what? They'll do like what the Mongols do. Like, hey, that's really ride a horse. I'm gonna have this kid get on a horse. He's 4 years old. And teach him to be country since then. And then we're gonna have that technology. Global range attack. You can do. You know, it's yeah. That's what I just think. Yeah. Well, it's kind of weird. This is my theory about it. This is what it's inspiring and figure about all the same time. Is my day job is with catering. There's times like we're getting ready to do a lot of office parties. So we'll have like 3 meats out where you got beef brisket, chicken, sides, great. There's a shitload of meat, everything. And so what folks will do, some folks get a little bit, just enough for what they want, pile up. Then there's going to be some folks that go pile up as much as they can. Go take that meat, put it in a locker, come back again. And then now they've already screwed over at least 2 to 3 people who aren't going to be able to, so that way they can get as much food. And I was like, I think that's all humanity is. Yeah. But that's also humanity. You know, I mean, that's never going to go away.
Well, I know the podcast the beach.
Yeah.
I'm on the beach.
Yeah.
Kelp. Egg the whole time. Egg fresh egg. Like a protozoan. You've been doing that.
Like, hey, what about that guy? Seaweed. Is he okay? Okay. All right. Leave him alone.
Yeah. Nobody's known.
Exactly.
Eat seaweed.
I tried to kill him, but then he talked like that.
Eat seaweed. I have a crab.
Oh man. Well, man, I want to thank you so much for coming. Right. So do you don't have a website right now, right?
No, I actually have a website, and I let it lapse. So I don't have one anymore.
Gotcha.
I have Facebook. So I have Facebook, and I have reality where I sell little books.
Right.
The little books are just fakes.
Gotcha.
So it's like 9 books of fakes. I've been selling pointers now.
And then like you'll put stuff out there that I think is really just thoughts and ideas. And then I think you and Darren on my feed occasionally. Armstrong's are always way more. Well, his is more sexual.
Yeah.
But it's same thing where he's like, I got an idea for me. I was like, I'll say that.
I get nice ideas about it. I'm not like collide with my state of mind. When I'm doing stuff. I'm always on drugs. Like this. Like I'm depressed. Sometimes I'm happy anyways. It's like just take.
Yeah.
Thanks. But do that. Do the street comedy.
Yeah.
So I actually did a show last night. It's cold.
Yeah.
Cold. 37 minutes. We got a few.
Where do you usually go? Broadway or
I go to last night was Cafe.
Right.
the alley, Ellsworth. So I faced the building, the bars, the street. Right there.
Okay.
And that's good practice. Right there. I kind of got an audience. But then sometimes I go to high dive. I go to the back of the high dive. We just roll the rods and stuff. Machines plug in. My company there, and try to imagine where Cam.
That'd be interesting to see if there's like something spotlight inside of your this for street performers. That would be awesome.
It might be the seal that you see all the
yeah, that'd be that too.
The
first clue that might be drugs, fact on Broadway. Yeah, exactly. That place is.
But I'm like the solo person. Right. 1 in the morning. Every day. I'm doing
Humanity is the best.
You see all the accidents, rages.
Oh, dude, I was Mill Avenue, which is like a college version of South Broadway, right? In Phoenix, or in Tempe, and you can set your watch 11 o'clock. What's up, bro? And you can hear the tone of Ben's voices change. And because it's been drinking now, it's painfully obvious that he's gonna fuck him tonight. And if you can't fuck anybody, you might as well be fights basically. Where that comes out. The craziest one though, the one that's even more violent than that, and this one's rare, is the girl who realizes that he's gonna fuck her tonight. That girl is way more violent. She's way more angry. As a cabbie, I would think it'd be like two girls that pick up at like 2:30 in the morning. Oh yeah. They want to go to like an 24-hour drive-through for a couple of or something, right? The vile shit that came out of these women towards somebody else. Listen, give me my fucking fries, bitch. And they will lay into this girl that's working the drive-thru. What is going on? They have the last shot. It's really bizarre. I'm like, humanity.
Yeah.
At least you're trying to actually do something. You're trying to tell jokes, laugh at that. That's good.
Better.
You stop one person from somebody else's fight.
Actually, I walked through a fight.
Really?
Walked right.
Wow.
Yeah, pretty good.
Easy fellas.
Already squaring up. I tell like serious or not. Serious.
Right. Where I think it's somebody was talking about some over at a while back, and they're like, "Oh, what happened? It's too like man. What do you think that happened? Yelled at each other, they pushed each other twice, and they freaking went away.
It's crazy.
Yeah, because I'm like, funny. That's funny because once he gets to that point, as soon as it could be somebody walking down the street, going through a horrible kids taken away. They see that situation, they're going to start throwing bombs. And now it's like, this is going to be bad. I don't know.
Yeah. New York takes care of itself. That's why I like it.
It's nice. It's one of those things. They're not going to stay that way. If they don't leave now. Trust the situation.
They don't leave. They're going to go. Yeah, it's like realize.
Yeah, I can't do that. Everybody start beating the shit out of this guy. But Mike, I want to say thanks so much for the time. It's really awesome. Thank you. Yeah, it's been an hour, man. Freaking just zips right past. So. He's like, no, I felt every minute.
Oh shit. I never feel any of this. That's why I want to drive.
There you go.
I don't get the doctors.
Right. Exactly.
You're
doing this for years. Well, guys, if you don't. You know what? I always say like, follow me on Twitter. I honestly don't give a shit anymore about fitness stuff. I'm on there if you want to follow. That's what the real part. If you want to be on the list, go to DisJointedPod.com. And I'm trying to put blogs out more consistent mailing list. I think I've got four bots on there. My brother. So we can use more people on that. Just go to DisJointedPod.com. Contact button. Other than that, sign off for the podcast. I'm Dave Germain.
Mike Copolinno.
Have a great week. Okay, buddy.
Yeah, enjoy.
So that, save that, and that is done.